Okay. Hello, we are here with Jaime Monroy, our new assistant coach. Jaime, welcome to Sigma.
Thank you.
And first of all, how to pronounce correctly your name? Because you are a multilingual person.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. If you are in Spain, it's Jaime. In Portugal, because I'm Portuguese, it's Jaime. But in English, it's Jamie. So for me, any of the three is okay.
Yeah, you worked in a lot of places all around the world. Mm-hmm. So tell us, how did it come to Sigma?
So from all my experiences, even in the youth and professional football, I always had in mind that I wanted to work in professional football. I was not a professional footballer, which means that when you play professionally, in terms of knowing more people that can give you opportunity, it's easier. In my case, I had to start in the youth, so I did my bachelor degree in sports science and my specialty in football. And after that, I started to coach. So I started to coach with young guys, like 23 years old. I started with a small club. It's Salgueiros. If you remind Deco played in Salgueiros, and it was a top club by the time. Then they disappeared, but it was my first opportunity to coach as a head coach there in the youth. And then Boavista came, they saw me in a tournament, it went well, and they bring me to Boavista, where I was like 3 years. In Boavista, I was the head coach of the under 15s, 14s and 15s, and the academy director of a section of the club. I leave the club, and then comes Porto. In Porto, it was interesting because they select the kids from Portugal, mainly from Porto area, and then I would train them so they could have like a little tournament to play against the Porto players. So then we would select the best ones. More or less was my job doing there. And because of that, I met the head of scouting from FC Porto. And the next story is AC Milan. That's why many people see that I worked with AC Milan. When I moved to Madrid, because of my family, I had to move to Madrid. I was working as a fitness coach as well in Reebok. And one day I thought, why I don't open in this place? Because it's an area in Madrid where many footballers from Real Madrid and from Atletico live. So I thought it would be a good way of building an academy, an international academy. And the head of scouting from FC Porto, he went to AC Milan. And then I talked to him, and we agreed that we would build there an academy, and that was the experience.
And then came the coaching, the real
Yes,
coaching, the professional football.
And then came the real coaching because Pantic, we had a meeting, and he bring me to Azerbaijan, so I was with him. Then I came back to Madrid until I moved to Barcelona, and then again an experience in an important club. But for me, that year I was the big part of my experience is in the knowledge I had in that moment, because from 8 in the morning, 9 until 3, we would be with the methodologists with the club, and they would explain how to do the things, all related with the methodology. So I can say that I learned a lot with them, and my experience was quite good. The thing is, my goal is professional football, and I received an offer to go to Australia. I decided to go, so I was there, the director of academy, but the head coach of the first team, and is when everything more or less starts, no? After 1 year, I made a personal choice to come, because my family was in Madrid. We had like a person in the family that had a problem, a health problem, and I had to come. And because of Reebok and AC Milan, I decided within the club I was working in that time to build the Reebok Sports Club Academy. In that moment, Tony Cruz was coming with his son. It was Alvaro Arbeloa as well, and it was really, really nice by the time. And he came Atletico de Madrid. They offered me a position for coaching, but I was training as well Dani Ceballos, the Real Madrid player. So by the time with academy with Dani, I couldn't work in coaching Atletico Madrid, so they gave me the option to be in scouting. So I did scouting for coaches for the club, and I did scouting as well for players from the under 14s until the under 23s. And this was my experience with them until I will tell this story because I think it's important. In the academy in Reebok, we had Marko Antic. Marko Antic was one of the players in the under 15s that I was coaching, and he was the grandson of Radomir Antic. Radomir Antic is very known coach. He coached Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid, more known by Atletico Madrid. And he was about to receive an offer to train Serbia. And he seated with me, so he was going to my matches and that. And he said one day, I want to talk to you because I would like to have you in my group as an assistant coach. I was really happy, but then that didn't go through, and I went with Carlos Corberán. With Carlos, we met from friends in common because we had a friend that was organizing congresses in Spain, in Madrid area. I was helping with some people from Portugal, some teachers I had in university and coaches I know. So they would come to Madrid for the congresses. And through that I met Carlos. And one day he was looking for an assistant coach for the under 23s. He invites me to go with him, and I did go with him. And the year was the year of the COVID. So until half of the season, we were smoothly, no problem, with the 23s and Carlos. The thing is that the B team and the first team, so Bielsa was in the club by the time, it's like to be the same because they train, all the players from the 23s will train with the first team. So what happened is that after COVID, so we were between both scenarios, between Bielsa and between Carlos, but in COVID, after COVID, they needed help, so because they have to divide the team in different groups, and then I joined. So I joined to support them in that year, and when ends that season, that first season, we got promoted, and Carlos Corberán receives an offer to go to Huddersfield, and what happened is that he left Huddersfield and I stayed more or less in his position, which means that I would help the under 23s because there was nobody, because we had some movements from the staff in the 23s. They had nobody with the knowledge from Bielsa methodology. So I was supporting both. I was in trainings always with the first team, and in the matches with the 23s, I would travel with them.
We have to stop here. Marcelo Bielsa, one of big names in your career. So how did you form you as a coach, or what did you learn from him? Can you
so I can say that I come from two methodologies or two main ideas. One is the Portuguese methodology from the tactical periodization from Victor Frade. This is a little bit what in Portugal we study when you are in the university, and at the same time is the education. Everyone knows about it, no? And then in Spain is about Paco Cerulo and FC Barcelona. So after that, it's the experience with Bielsa. Changed completely the game because his methodology is completely different. You start to understand the game in a different way, and I think you only start to enjoy when first you start to understand, but then when you start to win. And with Bielsa, we win always. And the thing is, when you start to win, the people starts to believe, and this happened with me. So the first year was really difficult to adapt. In the second year, everyone in the staff was helping me as well to understand well the things. So it was really, really nice experience. What happened is that at the end of that year, we were about to start the preseason in my third year in Leeds. But the owner from the club in Australia that I coached as a head coach before, he bought a club in Greece. Xanthi was a club that was in first division for many years, but they got relegated, and he asked me if I would like to coach. And I was in a moment in my life where I would really to use Bielsa methodology in that club, because I think is when you learn more. And I decided to go. Unfortunately, the experience didn't last long. First, because the league started late. I'm very competitive, so I lost one match with the first division team in a cup match, but I didn't lost any of the other ones. What is the situation? Is that in Greece, if you know, there are a lot of rotation for coaches, and in my opinion, well, you can say that in the background there were some situations that you couldn't control, and that forced me a little bit to go out, and the club now disappeared. They switched many coaches during that season. So yeah, for me, I look back, maybe if I would continue in this, I would be okay. But when you make a decision, you always know that this can happen to you.
So it was the experience as a head coach.
Yes.
Then you came back to the assistant role.
Yes.
Is it a difference for you, or is it still one football?
For me, of course, everyone, I think all the assistant coaches, one day they want to be the head coach. It's true that I had experience in Greece, and Carlos, because of Leeds, he decided to call me, and he said, Jamie, I want you back again. Would you join me to be in Olympiacos? And I said yes, so we stayed there. The experience, I don't say it was a bad experience, to be honest, because we classified the team for the stage group in the Europa League, and we played as well the stage group. So it was but it was very intense because we had the league and we had the matches for the Europa League. So time to train was not much, but to play, yes. The thing is that Carlos, so we work under the company of Marinakis, different clubs, and then they decided not to continue with Carlos. I'm with him, so I left, and Carlos received the offer to go to West Bromwich Albion, and I go with him. And then with the time, I thought that my journey with Carlos was done. I think I would have to give another step to learn from other coaches, and even for myself. So I decided not to stay with him, and I joined Christian Fiel then in Hertha Berlin. Experience in Hertha was for me amazing. I think it was a club that really treated me well, and we were really family. You know, when I think at the end of the day, it's important to have knowledge, of course, but to be surrounded with good people, and that was the case. So I can say that I was going to work very happy. The situation is that, of course, it depends on results. I think, in my opinion, that we lost key players because of the situation of the club. We had to sell our striker that was on 25 goals a year. Our best player was a winger on the left. He got injured for 5 months, and you felt that. We sold as well a centre back was important. So at the end, it affected us a little bit. If you replace them, it's okay, but if you don't do it, then you felt that, no? And that's it. And now,
what attracted you to Sigma? Tell us.
Sigma.
Was it easy decision, hard decision?
So after I left Hertha Berlin, I had offered to go to Australia, with Arthur, is one of the person responsible to bring me to Australia before, and he offered me the opportunity to be in a club in Melbourne, from First Division, A-League, was Melbourne Victory. But I decided that was not the moment to go, and then came other opportunities as well in Australia as a head coach, but I said no, as well with the same owners from Xanthi and that. But I think maybe it was better to don't go, and was this. So during that time, I came to Czech Republic. I was with some clubs, and one of them was Sigma. So I met Pavel, and we talked. It's true that Pavel played in Spain, in Tenerife. So when I met him, it was really nice because we speak in Spanish. I was explaining a little bit how I see the game and that, and I think we connected. And it was this. I've seen other clubs as well. In Marbella, I met Kovac, the coach from Slovan Liberec, and we talked a little bit. I was there during a week, and I think Kovac as well, and Pavel, they worked before. So yeah, the connection was there somehow, no? And when Pavel explained me more or less the opportunity, I thought it was really interesting to come, and I made the decision. and now I'm here.
I have to ask, what do you know about Czech league? Because it is often called specific, very physical. And what do you know about Czech football at all?
So when I first came, I went to Sparta Prague against Teplice, and I watched the match. No, I think it's very physical. The feeling I had, it was like in England when we were in the championship matches. The vibe was the same, and I said, okay, interesting. I wouldn't mind to be here. Maybe because of that feeling, I'm now here because it was really good. Before I came here, I made sure that I saw Sigma playing against other teams. So that was the feeling I had about. Maybe I would say that man for man is one of the characteristics of many teams when they defend. So you need solutions for those moments. At the same time, for the other shapes when you have to attack them. But the feeling was this very intense, very physical, and I'm looking forward. I think in set pieces they are top. With long, when they play long, they really have solutions to attack. Because you don't play long just to play, you play with an idea, and I think that is something that we have to learn, because sometimes we say that when we play short is the right way, but if you know the moments and how to play long, that can give in the mix between playing short and long a really good job. That's why it's one of my reasons here is as well to learn, because I think we can learn from everyone and to grow maybe in the future as a head coach.
You spoke about it a little bit in previous questions, but what's your coaching philosophy? What's your style of coaching, style of play you prefer?
Look, Barcelona gave me enjoying with the ball. Having the ball is a way of not defending. Bielsa gave me being direct. Direct is not means long, but direct means that try to progress as soon as possible, and he gave us tools to do that. So the intensity when you have the ball is important as well, because you can have the possession, but then you need the right moment to arrive to those positions to score. At the same time, Bielsa and then Carlos, they teach me, one, how to defend when you have to defend man for man. This is Bielsa, and this is amazing in the why you do it, because I think it's important to understand what happens in that, because when the play starts to move, you need to know when to change the mark, but you need to know the reason as well why you play man for man. And then Carlos with a 4-4-2. In Spain is very common to study some coaches like Marcelino García Toral, Mikel Arteta. So they are the best coaches in using their 4-4-2 to defend different shapes. And Carlos was interested in studying them as well. So my idea when you have to defend comes from these situations as well. So at the end of the day, it's all about your experience. No, it's all about the feeling we had in different clubs, and maybe I will take from Bielsa some details, from Carlos others, and that's it.
Fusion, maybe.
Yeah, completely.
Okay, what are your first feelings from the staff, from the club, for players?
So for me, I think for anyone, when you come to a club and you are new, the main part is the human side, if they are good people. And the feeling so far was that. So when you can work with people, it's always easy. I have to do not the effort, because I think I'm an easy person, which is very important nowadays. I'm talking about this because in our sport, we have a lot of egos. And I think sometimes the ego pushes apart a little bit the idea of being together, no? The feeling of togetherness. So for me, my time here now with the players, I think they work hard. I think they need to enjoy and have happiness when they play, and to have the confidence. But what I see is that they try. And when you have experience like in the past with Hertha, but mainly with Leeds, when they push, because we were very intense in our trainings, and you see that they can perform in the same way. So when you see that, you know that somehow we will have the results.
What about the staff? We are now very multilingual. which is something new for us, because normally in history there were Czech coaches, Czech staff, Czech players. Now everything changes with a new owner, so it's not a problem for you, I guess.
No, for me no, because I'm used to work in England. I worked with Argentinians, with Spanish, and with English people. In Greece with Greeks, in Australia with Australian Greeks as well. So yeah, I'm used to work with in Germany with people from Germany. And here it's true that we have a mixed staff, but I think it's always nice. And the important part for me is that we can learn from the different experience of the other coaches as well. So for me, that's the good part of all these kind of experiences.
And what do you expect from Sigma in this season?
What I expect a group of people that wants to achieve the best result possible. I know that's important to. I think the result is a consequence of doing the things well, which means that if you prepare them properly, if they understand the idea behind, I think we will enjoy, because one part is you have to win and the other part is you have to enjoy as well. When the people comes to see Sigma and here at home, for me, in my opinion, they need to enjoy. If the players enjoy with the ball, they will enjoy as well what we do. But it's not only with the ball, it's at the same time the attitude to press, to defend, to organize, to be together when we do the things. So for me, the idea is to achieve our best result possible, top 5, but we have to be realistic, and we need is to work hard to get there. And I think when you work hard, you always get to a good position, for sure.
Jaime, thank you very much. Good luck in Sigma.
Thank you.
And we'll see you.
Thank you so much.